Have you ever opened your eyes in the morning only to find yourself lying still for a while, not because you're lazy, but because your body feels hesitant? You sit up slowly, plant your feet on the floor, and wait. Not for a specific reason, but because your legs don't feel quite ready. Your arms feel a little heavier. Your steps across the room seem slightly more cautious than they were a year ago. You're not in pain, just slower, more fragile, like your strength is hiding somewhere and hasn't caught up to you yet. This subtle loss of power is something many people over 60 experience but rarely talk about. It sneaks in slowly. One day you're gardening for hours. The next, you need to take breaks every 15 minutes. You start holding onto the handrail when climbing stairs. You choose the seat with armrests because standing up isn't quite as easy anymore. It feels like aging is quietly rewriting your daily routines. But what if I told you that this sense of weakness, this invisible erosion of strength, wasn't just about getting older? What if part of it had more to do with what you didn't eat last night? You see, your body does some of its most important work while you sleep. It's not just resting, it's repairing, rebuilding, and refueling, especially your muscles. But for your muscles to grow stronger, they need the right materials, the right signals, and yes, the right kind of food before bed. In this video, we're going to explore 4 powerful natural bedtime foods that can support muscle recovery, improve balance, and help you wake up with more confidence in your body. These aren't complicated or expensive. You won't have to count calories or memorize labels. They're gentle, nourishing, and designed with seniors in mind. And the last one? It may not look like much, but its effect on overnight strength could genuinely surprise you. So, if you've ever felt weaker in the morning and wished there was something you could do, stay with me. We're just getting started. Hi, I'm Dr. William Hart, your guide here at Golden Health. After 30 years of helping older adults rebuild their strength, I can tell you this aging doesn't mean decline. It means shifting how we care for our bodies, one simple habit at a time. This channel is here to support that shift. No scare tactics, no miracle cures, just clear, thoughtful advice rooted in real science and real stories from people just like you. If you're new here, welcome. And if you've been with us a while, I'm so glad you're back. Say hi in the comments and let us know where you're watching from. Your story could inspire someone else who needs a little boost today. Now let's talk about why this all matters so much. So why are we talking about bedtime snacks and muscle strength? Because after the age of 60, your body begins to lose muscle mass at a rate of about 3 to 8% per decade. That number might not seem big at first, but it adds up quickly, especially if you're not doing anything to counteract it. According to the National Institutes of Health, this condition called sarcopenia can begin as early as your 50s and quietly chip away at your strength, balance, and independence. Here's what most people don't realize. Muscle isn't just about moving, it's about protecting. It helps you catch yourself when you trip, rise from the couch without needing help, and carry groceries up the stairs. Muscle supports your posture, your blood sugar levels, your metabolism, even your brain. Research from the Mayo Clinic shows that muscle loss isn't just a physical issue. It's also linked to cognitive decline, insulin resistance, and longer recovery times after illness or surgery. In fact, one of the leading risk factors for falls among older adults is not osteoporosis, it's weak leg muscles. Think of your muscles like a retirement fund. You don't feel the absence of money until you really need it. The same is true for strength. You might not notice how much you've lost until the day you need to catch your balance or pull yourself up and suddenly it's not there. The good news is that muscle loss is not only preventable, it's reversible. But it doesn't require expensive gym memberships or protein powders with names you can't pronounce. Sometimes it just takes the right kind of food at the right time, like an evening snack that helps fuel your body's natural overnight rebuilding process. So if you've been noticing a little more effort to stand, a bit more stiffness in the morning, or a drop in your energy, you're not alone. And you're not stuck. Your body is still listening, and what you feed it tonight can change how you feel tomorrow morning. Let's start with a fruit that's small, tart, and surprisingly powerful. Tart cherry juice. Raymond had never thought much about sleep until his 70s. A retired bus mechanic from Grand Rapids, Michigan, he was used to early mornings and long days. But lately, he had been waking up more tired than when he went to bed. "It's like my legs have rusted overnight," he once joked. He felt stiff in the knees. His arms moved slower, and climbing the porch steps took more effort each morning. He wasn't in pain. He just didn't feel ready to move. His doctor told him the usual: stretch more, exercise gently. But it wasn't until Raymond's granddaughter, a college nutrition student, suggested something he hadn't considered, a small glass of Tart cherry juice before bed, that things began to change. Within a week, Raymond noticed he was falling asleep more quickly. After 2 weeks, the stiffness started fading. "I'm not sprinting out of bed," he laughed, "but I'm not dragging myself either." His mornings felt smoother, more grounded. So what's in Tart cherry juice that makes such a difference, especially for seniors? Tart cherries are one of the few natural sources of melatonin, the hormone that regulates your sleep-wake cycle. While many people take melatonin supplements, your body often absorbs food-based melatonin more gradually and effectively. In a 2012 study published in the European Journal of Nutrition, older adults who drank Tart cherry juice twice a day slept an average of 84 more minutes per night. But sleep is just part of the story. Tart cherries are also rich in anthocyanins, powerful antioxidants that help reduce inflammation. As we age, chronic low-grade inflammation can interfere with muscle repair and contribute to morning stiffness. Tart cherry juice helps calm that fire quietly, overnight. And that's not all. These little red fruits are also packed with potassium and magnesium, 2 minerals that support muscle relaxation and help prevent nighttime cramps. That's especially helpful if you've ever woken up with one of those painful leg spasms that make you jump out of bed. So how should you use Tart cherry juice? Start with 4 to 6 ounces of unsweetened Tart cherry juice about 30 to 60 minutes before bedtime. Look for 100% Montmorency cherry juice on the label. This variety has been most studied for its sleep and recovery benefits. You can find it at stores like Trader Joe's, Whole Foods, or even larger Walmarts. A word of caution: cherry juice is naturally high in natural sugars. If you're managing blood sugar or on a low-carb plan, talk to your doctor first, or try cutting the juice with water. If you're looking for a gentle way to sleep deeper, wake up steadier, and give your muscles the nighttime support they need, Tart cherry juice might be a simple place to start. Type cherry in the comments if you're thinking about adding this to your evening routine. I'd love to hear how it works for you. Next, let's look at a creamy, comforting bedtime food that's rich in slow-digesting protein and a surprising blood sugar helper: ricotta cheese with cinnamon. Barbara never had much of a sweet tooth, but she had something else trouble with her blood sugar. At 66, she was newly retired from her job as a librarian in Eugene, Oregon. She had plans to travel, to start painting again, maybe even take dance lessons. But most mornings, she woke up feeling weak, foggy, and just off. "It's like my body's battery didn't charge overnight," she told me once. Even though she tried to eat balanced meals during the day, her energy would dip dramatically by mid-morning. When we looked at her routine, there was one thing missing: an evening snack. Not just any snack, but one that would gently stabilize her blood sugar while feeding her muscles through the night. That's when I suggested a small bowl of ricotta cheese with a sprinkle of cinnamon before bed. At first, Barbara was skeptical. "Isn't cheese too heavy for nighttime?" she asked. But just a week into her new routine, she told me she was waking up with steadier energy. "I don't feel shaky anymore," she said. "And I don't need to reach for food the minute I get up." Her mornings felt smoother, her steps more grounded. So why does this combo work? Let's start with ricotta. Unlike other cheeses that are high in fat and hard to digest, ricotta is light, creamy, and packed with casein protein, a slow-digesting protein that provides a steady release of amino acids throughout the night. That's exactly what your muscles need during their repair cycle while you sleep. According to the Journal of Nutrition, casein taken at night has been shown to increase overnight muscle protein synthesis in older adults by up to 22%. Then comes cinnamon, not just for flavor, but for function. This warm spice has been studied for its ability to help regulate blood sugar levels, improve insulin sensitivity, and reduce overnight glucose spikes. It works gently with the protein in ricotta to keep your blood sugar stable, which can help prevent that jittery or drained feeling upon waking. Here's how to use it. Take about 1/3 cup of part-skim ricotta cheese. That's roughly the size of a heaping ice cream scoop. Add 1/4 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, and if you like, a few slices of banana or a couple of crushed walnuts for texture. Eat it 30-60 minutes before bed as your final small meal of the day. This snack is especially helpful if you've had a light dinner or if you tend to wake up hungry in the early morning. It's also lactose-friendly for many people since ricotta is lower in lactose than milk. One small bowl, one peaceful night. If you've ever felt like your mornings start on empty, This gentle, creamy combo could help refill your tank while you sleep. Comment cinnamon below if this sounds like something you'd be willing to try tonight. Coming up, let's talk about an unexpected pairing that fuels your muscles and calms your brain: a few slices of turkey with whole grain crackers. Tony didn't think much about his legs until they started waking him up at night. At 74, he was still active around his home in Amarillo, Texas. He did light yard work, fed the birds every morning, and volunteered twice a week at his local community center. But every few nights, like clockwork, he'd wake up with sharp cramps in his calves. Sometimes they were so intense they made him shout. He tried stretching. He tried drinking more water. Nothing seemed to help. "I felt like my legs were rebelling against me," he said. When I asked about his evening meals, he admitted they were light, usually just some soup or toast. That's when we made one small change: 3 slices of roasted turkey and a few whole grain crackers, eaten about an hour before bed. The results came fast. Within 10 days, the cramps all but disappeared. More than that, Tony said he was waking up feeling more steady, less wobbly. "It's like my legs are listening to me again," he told me. So what's the science behind this simple snack? Turkey is a natural source of tryptophan, an amino acid your body converts into serotonin and then into melatonin, the hormone that helps you fall asleep. While tryptophan alone doesn't knock you out, when paired with complex carbohydrates like those found in whole grain crackers, it's more easily absorbed and used by the brain. This pairing can promote deeper, more restorative sleep, which is exactly when your muscles go into repair mode. But there's more to this duo. Turkey is also rich in high-quality lean protein, particularly the amino acid leucine, which helps stimulate muscle protein synthesis, your body's way of repairing and rebuilding tissue. And the crackers? They don't just assist with tryptophan. Whole grains offer slow-release energy, helping maintain blood sugar stability through the night, which can prevent the crash that sometimes leads to nighttime awakenings. Here's how to enjoy it. Take 2-3 slices of low-sodium roasted turkey, about 3 ounces total, and pair them with 3-4 whole grain crackers. Look for varieties with at least 3 grams of fiber per serving. Eat this about 45-60 minutes before bedtime. It's light, balanced, and doesn't feel like a meal, which helps your body relax rather than gear up for digestion. If you're vegetarian, you can substitute with hummus on whole grain crackers for a similar balance of protein and complex carbs, though the tryptophan content won't be quite as high. A small snack like this might seem too simple to matter, but it's not. What you give your body before bed sets the tone for your recovery all night long. If you've struggled with nighttime cramps or waking up shaky, this might be the gentle fix you've been missing. Comment turkey if this sounds like something worth trying tonight. Now let's move from lean protein to healthy fat. Our final food is a crunchy, brain-calming, muscle-soothing powerhouse: walnuts. May was never one to complain. At 79, she still baked every Sunday for her church in Tallahassee, Florida. Her kitchen always smelled like cinnamon and vanilla, and her laugh could fill a room. But over the past year, something had changed. She started moving slower in the mornings. Her knees ached, and her hands felt stiff as she measured flour or lifted mixing bowls. "I just thought it was part of getting older," she told me. "Like the price you pay for living a full life." But then, sleep became harder too. May started waking up several times a night, not from dreams or noises, but from discomfort in her joints. It wasn't pain exactly, more like an inner tension that never quite released. That's when she tried something simple: a small handful of walnuts, about 5 to 7 pieces each night before bed. 2 weeks later, May wasn't just sleeping more deeply. She was waking up without the same tightness in her joints. "I don't creak like an old porch anymore," she joked. "And I can finally open my hands in the morning without rubbing them first." What makes walnuts such a quiet powerhouse for recovery? First, they're one of the few plant-based sources of omega-3 fatty acids, specifically alpha-linolenic acid, ALA. Omega-3s have strong anti-inflammatory properties, which is especially important for seniors experiencing stiffness, swelling, or chronic inflammation. A 2021 study from Harvard Medical School found that diets high in plant-based omega-3s were linked to better joint function and reduced muscle soreness in older adults. Second, walnuts contain melatonin, the natural hormone that signals your body it's time to rest. Unlike pills, food-based melatonin is more gently absorbed, supporting your sleep without disrupting your natural rhythms. Better sleep equals more efficient tissue repair and hormone balance. Third, walnuts are rich in magnesium and tryptophan, both of which help relax your muscles and nervous system. If your mind races at night or your body feels too alert to fully relax, magnesium can help you ease into sleep while tryptophan sets the stage for calm. And finally, they contain zinc, a trace mineral essential for cellular repair and hormonal stability, especially for older men who may be looking to maintain testosterone levels, which directly influence muscle maintenance. How to enjoy them. Keep it small and simple. 5 to 7 whole walnut halves, about 1 tablespoon, is enough. Eat them dry, unsalted, and preferably 30-45 minutes before bed. You can nibble them on their own or add them to a spoonful of plain Greek yogurt or cottage cheese if you want a protein boost. One last note. Because walnuts are calorie-dense, avoid eating them by the handful. Think of them not as a snack, but as a supplement. A small handful goes a long way. If you're looking for something quiet, natural, and deeply restorative, walnuts might just be your new evening ritual. Type walnut in the comments if this is one you'll be trying tonight. Now, let's take a moment to talk about something just as important as what you eat, how to make sure these foods are safe and right for your body. Before you head to the kitchen and start experimenting with these bedtime foods, let's pause for a moment and talk about something equally important: safety and personalization. While all 4 foods we've discussed, tart cherry juice, ricotta with cinnamon, turkey with whole grain crackers, and walnuts are generally safe and gentle, your body is unique. Especially if you're managing chronic conditions or taking medications, a few key precautions can help you get the benefits without the drawbacks. Are you taking blood thinners like warfarin? Be cautious with tart cherry juice and walnuts, as both can slightly impact clotting due to their natural vitamin K or anti-inflammatory properties. It doesn't mean you can't have them, but talk to your doctor first. On blood pressure medication or watching sodium? Then choose low-sodium turkey slices and avoid adding salt to your crackers or cheese. Even small amounts of extra sodium at night can disrupt fluid balance and sleep. Diabetic or pre-diabetic? Pay attention to portion sizes. Cherry juice and bananas, if you add them to ricotta, have natural sugars. Consider pairing them with protein or fiber to slow absorption and stabilize blood sugar. Sensitive stomach or lactose intolerant? Ricotta is relatively low in lactose, but it's not zero. Start with a small spoonful and see how your body responds. The goal isn't perfection, it's consistency. And part of that consistency means adjusting these habits to your own needs. If you'd like a printable Safe Start checklist that summarizes what to try, what to avoid, and what to watch for, just type "guide" in the comments. I'll make sure you get it. Now let's hear how real people just like you have tried these ideas and what changed for them. Sometimes, the most powerful motivation doesn't come from data or experts. It comes from someone just like you, a neighbor, a friend, someone living a similar life, facing the same challenges, and finding a small way forward. Take Doug, for example. He's 72 and lives in Kansas City, Missouri. After retiring from his job at a packaging plant, Doug found himself feeling weaker each year. "I used to be the guy who carried 3 grocery bags in each hand," he told me. "Now I was leaning on the cart by aisle 3. Doug watched one of our earlier videos on nighttime nutrition and decided to start small. He began by adding walnuts, just 6 halves before bed each night. "I didn't expect much," he admitted. "But after about 10 days, I realized I was sleeping through the night. No more waking up with that dull ache in my hips." 3 weeks later, he felt stronger on his feet and steadier in the morning. Then there's Tina from Orlando, Florida. She's 69, a retired school counselor who always prided herself on staying active. But over time, her morning yoga routine became harder to stick with. "It wasn't motivation, I just felt drained when I woke up." Tina introduced tart cherry juice into her bedtime routine. 4 ounces before brushing my teeth, she said. That's all I changed. In just a week, her sleep became deeper and her mornings more energized. It's like my body was trying to heal, and I finally gave it the support it needed. Stories like these remind us that you don't have to overhaul your life to see a difference. You just have to listen to your body and respond with care. Did one of these stories remind you of someone? Maybe a friend, a sibling, or even yourself a few months ago? Send this video to them. It might be the gentle nudge they've been waiting for. Now, as we begin to wrap up, let's revisit the big picture and talk about what these small choices really mean for your strength, sleep, and sense of self. So let's take a quiet breath together and reflect. Tonight, you don't need to overhaul your diet. You don't need to count every calorie or try something trendy and extreme. What your body truly needs, especially after 60, isn't intensity. It's consistency. It's small acts of care repeated night after night that quietly tell your muscles, I haven't given up on you. We began this journey with a question. Why do we sometimes wake up weaker than when we went to bed? And along the way, we discovered 4 gentle, powerful answers. Tart cherry juice, rich in melatonin and antioxidants to help you fall asleep faster and reduce muscle inflammation. Ricotta cheese with cinnamon, slow-digesting protein paired with a blood sugar stabilizer to quietly fuel your muscles while keeping energy steady. Turkey with whole-grain crackers, combining tryptophan and complex carbs to deepen sleep and kickstart repair. And walnuts packed with omega-3s, melatonin, magnesium, and zinc, nature's complete nighttime tonic for aging strength. Each one of these is a whisper to your body that says, I see you. I care about your recovery. Let's rebuild. Because growing older doesn't mean growing weaker. It just means your body asks for different support and a little more patience. You're not past your prime. You're in your wisdom years. And with the right tools, those years can feel grounded, strong, and fully yours. Now, I'd love to know, which of these 4 foods are you most excited to try tonight? Type it in the comments. Cherry? Ricotta? Turkey? Walnut? I read every one. And if this video gave you something useful, something hopeful, please subscribe to Golden Health. We're building a space where aging means thriving, not shrinking. Lastly, don't miss our next video, the 3 T's that may be silently hurting your joints. It's one you don't want to overlook. Until then, sleep gently, eat kindly, and wake up stronger tomorrow. You've earned it.